90% of lawyers are using AI completely wrong. And it's not because they're not smart. It's because they're doing the one thing that guarantees they'll never get good at it. And we made the same mistake for months. Today, we're going to show you what it is and the one shift that changes everything. If you've ever opened ChatGPT or Claude, felt overwhelmed and closed it thinking, I'll figure this out later, this episode is for you. Because here's the truth. The lawyers who are winning with AI right now are not smarter than you. They're not more technical. They just understand one thing that you don't yet. This is Next Level Lawyer with Julio Oyhanarte and Gianfranco De Girolamo, the podcast for lawyers who want to grow with social media, faster intake, and AI through short, practical episodes. Let's get into it. Gianfranco, let's get right into it. How are you doing?
Doing great, Julio. Just got back from our in-person event that we held at Fort Lauderdale with another 40 people. It was really great with lawyers and people in their team, and it was absolutely amazing to see how much they could learn in such a short 2 days, right?
Yes, it was insane. I'm grateful, that we could gather these amazing minds, our peers, lawyers flying from all over the country to spend 2 days going deep on Claude AI. And we learned a bunch of things, Gianfranco, right?
Absolutely. And we could see basically that the main obstacle and what we want to talk about in today's episode is literally making time to play with AI. And what do we mean by that? What do we mean by playing with AI? Basically, the way there is a misconception that AI is just a tool, and in many respects, it is a tool. But more importantly, it's probably better defined as a skill, Julio. And when I say a skill, I mean it's like learning how to read and how to write all over again.
Well, now, sorry, that's kind of frustrating. It's like feeling we need to go back to school, and we're lawyers. We graduated from law school. We passed the bar. We have many years of experience. And now you're telling me I need to go back to school?
You said it. I didn't say that. You just said it. You gave yourself the answer, Julio. Yes, it's like going back to school, but without teachers, without a formal program. We need to learn on our own. Nobody's going to teach us.
And there's no curriculum out there. It's all over the place.
I thought about that. Maybe the government should do a mandatory AI course, but do we want that? So that's a story for another day. Basically, it's literally like learning how to read and write all over again. And the best way to learn how to read and write, yes, it can be homework, or you can also try to make it fun,
And how do you make it fun? How do you do that?
So the way to make it fun, I try to imagine something that I can do with it. And what I mean by that is, okay, first, most of us, if not all of us, have used AI in a way that we ask it to do something for us. But let's actually, try to challenge it and try to imagine what you can do by giving it more tasks or creating something. So for instance, I started creating a software, say, okay, I want to create one. It was in Claude Code to manage basically our script production and our thumbnails, our landing pages and everything. And I wanted to put it all in one. And I started talking to it and then say, okay, I want to create this. And what do you need from me? How can we do that? And then, we started getting some results and it already started looking good. And I say, okay, this is kind of like a game, like a video game, if the closest thing that I can compare it to. And you keep progressing and advancing and modifying and tweaking. And it becomes a little bit addictive because then you want to see it finished. So I think the closest comparison probably I can make it like a video game.
Yeah. So what type of lawyer will be the winner in this AI race? If you can predict it, what are the traits this lawyer has?
My prediction is that the lawyer who's going to win in AI is the lawyer who is curious, first of all, which generally we are as a profession, because we try, to come up with different arguments, looking for evidence that can win our case. But it's also a lawyer who can think outside the box and think in systems, how can you connect these tools, this AI, to stuff that you're already using or already doing it. And so to imagine what you can do and try to experiment with that you first want to start with low stakes. You can if you
For
want, you
example?
can literally create a video game with AI, for fun. I know a lot of people that start with that. They start creating something for their kids, and then they share it with them, and then or to teach them music or stuff like that. So start with something that's fun, doesn't really have a big impact on anything that you're doing, and then you start realizing how you can connect everything. So I think it's the lawyer who actually plays with it and gets engaged with it and starts imagining what you can do with it and then implementing that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Julio?
I agree with that. I also think that the lawyer that will win is the lawyer that is giving space to the team that he's working with to do the same.
That's right.
And that's the multiplier. So being curious, being playful, when you feel like you're repeating a task, it's like, okay, what can I do with AI to make it faster, or or to create an agent to do it for me, and then empower the team, give them the tools and the space and the safety to say, hey guys, you are the one that is an expert in creating these packets, PDFs, or taking a declaration, or I don't know, whatever you're doing. What tools do you think you can create to help you with your daily
Yeah.
tasks? So I think those will be the winners. The curious people that are playful and that are empowering others in the team to do so as well. Yeah, that's what I think. Gianfranco, good things. Give me a tip for the day. What do you have for us today?
So the tip for today is that this is my technique when I feel stuck or overwhelmed or trying to, think outside the box. I go for a walk. And usually I get my best ideas during my walks because, I don't know, something happens to your brain when you're walking, you're outside, and you are not focusing on the
Phone.
phone, or you're just basically living in the moment, and the brain somehow appreciates that. And the other, inspirational moment that's very common, it's, in the shower.
The
But
shower.
I don't know why, but for some reason, something happens during those
And
30 minutes.
and when you come up with ideas, what's the workflow in your case? Do you have any app or
So
gear?
when I come up with ideas, usually I try to capture them as quickly as I can. Sometimes I dictate them on my phone, or I write them down, or I share them, sometimes with Julio, sometimes with my wife or friends or family. It depends, like what kind of idea it is. And sometimes, it's not a very good idea, but it just feels great at the time. So that's what keeps the idea alive, because otherwise, many times we have great ideas and then they die. I think I'm not the only one who say, man, I had an idea that changed the world last night, and then you forget about it the next morning. So I learn how to try to capture them as quickly as possible, because sometimes ideas don't come back.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, my tip for the day, Gianfranco, is related to thumbnails, YouTube thumbnails. We know the number one rule on YouTube is if they don't click, they won't watch the video, right?
That's
They
right.
need to click to watch it. So you need to make them click, unlike what happens on other platforms. And so you need to obsess with the thumbnail. I'm sorry, I know it's not fun, but number one mistake people on YouTube make is they obsess with the video they're filming, with the editing. And of course, you should as well. But then the thumbnail is an afterthought, something they do and spend no time at creating or thinking about. And so our workflow is the other way,
Or
and the title.
or they don't even make a thumbnail.
Oh, well, some people don't even make a thumbnail, of course. Well, those people I don't know what they're doing on YouTube, but yeah, that's true. So title and thumbnail. If we don't come up with a title and thumbnail, we don't even film an episode.
And
Period.
True story. We are.
And this happened with this episode, for example.
That's what I was gonna say. We are like 12 minutes into this episode. I just told Julio, we were probably about 35 minutes working on the thumbnail and the title. I was like, Julio, like, come on, I'm tired of this. But then I remembered that is why probably our videos work, because we really obsess about this, and we also experiment with them. Remember, Julio, like, I don't know if it's part of your tip, but an extension of your tip would be remembering that on YouTube, you can also ABC test your thumbnails.
Correct. And,
Really
yeah.
important.
And that's what we did with this video as well. So you will be seeing one of the 3 thumbnails that we thought could be good. We'll see how this video works. That's not the point. Regardless of the success or failure of this video, which is for a small audience, which is lawyers, I think if you are in YouTube, you should be obsessing with this. Otherwise, you will fail. I promise you. So thumbnails, obsess with those. If you don't have a good thumbnail, do not even start filming the video, period.
Yeah, Julio, small audience, but big egos. Be careful what you say. Okay?
True. Absolutely. All right, guys. Hopefully you found some value. You can subscribe to the channel for more tips, and we'll see you on the other side.
Thank you, everyone.
That's it for today. If you're a lawyer and want the exact system we use to turn social media and AI into signed clients, go to nextlevellawyer.com and watch the free training. See you at the next level.